Hello students. In the, in the previous class, uh, we have studied about introduction to carbonyl compounds and nomenclature of carbonyl compounds, and also some preparations of carbonyl compounds. These are all studied in the previous classes, and in today's class, let us discuss about some special preparation methods of aldehydes and ketones. It means some special methods for the preparation of aromatic aldehydes and ketones. Then, uh, just let us revise what we studied in the previous classes. Carbonyl compounds. Coming to carbonyl compounds, these are the compounds having carbonyl group. Carbonyl group means it is having C double bond O group, and here in case of aldehydes and ketones, in case of ketones, two alkyl groups are attached to the carbon of carbonyl group, and in aldehydes, at least one hydrogen is attached to the carbonyl carbon. Aldehydes and ketones, see here like this. If at least one hydrogen is attached, the left side, that is aldehyde. The other side may be alkyl group or hydrogen. These are having general formula RCHO. And coming to ketones, two alkyl groups are attached, RC double bond O R, like this, and this is aldehydes. And moreover, see here, the nomenclature also discussed. Coming to the nomenclature, we have studied that aldehydes, they are having suffix al, like ethanol, butanol, propanol, like that. And coming to ketones, the suffix is on, that is propanone, butanone, 2-pentanone, 3-pentanone, like that. The nomenclature also studied in the previous classes. And coming to preparations of aldehydes and ketones, uh, some preparations of aldehydes and ketones also studied. And coming to the preparations, we have studied some preparation methods of this aldehydes and ketones. See here, for the first one is by the oxidation of alcohols, we can prepare aldehydes. Okay, these alcohols are oxidized under the suitable reagent to give aldehydes and ketones. And coming to primary alcohols, they are oxidized to aldehydes. And of course, if the oxidation is further continued, the aldehydes are further oxidized into carboxylic acids. That means we have to control the oxidation. That means the formation of carboxylic acid is prohibited by generally by using a milder oxidizing agents, or by uh, what we say extracting the product, that is aldehyde, which is formed. That means it should be distilled out as the product is formed, so that we can stop the formation of carboxylic acid. That is the oxidation of primary alcohols, it gives aldehydes. And coming to secondary alcohols, they give ketones. See, secondary alcohols, by oxidation of secondary alcohols we get ketones. Of course, ketones, they cannot be oxidized to further carboxylic acids, because it requires drastic conditions. Hence, that is oxidation of primary alcohols, it gives aldehydes, and oxidation of secondary alcohols, they give ketones. This is one example. See here, one primary alcohol, upon oxidation, it gives aldehyde. Further oxidation leads to carboxylic acids. That means we should stop here. That means by using mild reagents generally aldehydes are formed. And see here, this one studied. uh, and secondary alcohol, it that means oxidation of secondary alcohols leads to ketone. And moreover, see here, the further oxidation of ketone to carboxylic acid is that means it requires drastic conditions. And moreover, it results a mixture of organic products. That means secondary alcohol, when it is oxidized, uh, ketone is formed. And moreover, the second is from acid chlorides. By reducing the acid chlorides, aldehydes are formed. See here, generally these acid chlorides, they reduced in the presence of palladium or barium sulfide, palladium barium sulfate. They converted into aldehydes. See here, or C double bond OCl, with reduced in the presence of reagent, it forms aldehydes. And then next, see here one example, acid chloride with reduction. First of all, what happens with reduction? See here, one hydrogen is added here, another hydrogen here, like this product is formed, and this chloride is kicked out as chloride ion. And here, with the loss of proton, it forms aldehydes. That means with reduction of acid chlorides, aldehydes are formed. And moreover, see here, it means by the oxidation of alcohols we get aldehydes. At the same time, by the reduction of carboxylic acids and acid chlorides, we get aldehydes. That means these are that means there's intermediate in between alcohols and carboxylic acids. By the oxidation of alcohols we get aldehydes, and by the reduction of this carboxylic acid and acid chlorides we get aldehydes. And one more reaction we have studied, that Friedel-Crafts acylation. That means acylation in the presence of anhydrous AlCl3, it forms aromatic ketones. For example, benzene, when it is treated with acetyl chloride in the presence of anhydrous AlCl3, that is anhydrous aluminum chloride, it forms acetophenone. That means it forms an aromatic ketone. For example, if you observe the second reaction, that is when benzene is treated with benzoyl chloride in the presence of anhydrous AlCl3, it forms benzophenone. See here, benzophenone is formed. It means aromatic ketones are formed by the Friedel-Crafts acylation of aromatic rings. And then see here, by the ozonolysis reaction of alkenes, with this reaction also we get aldehydes and ketones formed. See here, with the ozonolysis of symmetrical alkenes, with the symmetrical alkenes we get only one product, while with the ozonolysis of unsymmetrical alkenes we get a mixture of products. See here, for example, these two are symmetrical alkenes, and by the ozonolysis followed by that is hydrolysis, they form here, in the first case it forms aldehyde, and in the second reaction it forms ketone. That means by the ozonolysis of symmetrical alkenes, they form aldehydes and ketones. That means one product is formed, while when that means unsymmetrical alkenes on ozonolysis, they give a mixture of carbonyl compounds. That means this mixture, that means separation of the mixture is so difficult. Hence, the ozonolysis of symmetrical alkenes is preferred, because only one product is formed in that reaction. And the next, see here, already we have discussed about this also, that is synthesis of aldehydes and ketones by using 1,3 dithiones. In 1 comma 3 dithiones we have, that means we know that we have two acidic protons, and those two acidic protons, that means this 1 comma 3 dithiones, they lose proton by means of a strong base to the formation of carbon ion, and the formed carbon ion, when it is treated with alkyl halides, the alkyl groups attached to the carbon, and followed by hydrolysis they form aldehydes and ketones depending upon the alkyl group attached to that 1 comma 3 dithiones. For example, see here, this first one is the 1 comma 3 dithione. By means of base, this hydrogen is removed and forms carbon ion, and when it is treated with alkyl halide, see here, this like this X is removed and here R is attached, and also we have one more proton here, means by means of base that proton is removed and forms carbon ion again, and treating with one more alkyl halide molecule, see here, here two alkyl groups are attached, and with the hydrolysis in the presence of mercury chloride, it forms ketone here. That means if only one hydrogen is substituted with alkyl group, here aldehyde is formed. If the two hydrogens are substituted with alkyl groups, then ketones are formed as the products. And next, see here, this is one more example for the preparation of benzyl propyl ketone. See here, first this is 1 comma 3 dithione in the presence of strong base, and followed by treating with this benzyl bromide. Here benzyl bromide is attached to the carbon, and followed by again here one more hydrogen is there, treating with base followed by this propyl bromide. This propyl bromide is also attached to that carbon, then followed by hydrolysis in the presence of mercury chloride, that is the desired ketone is formed as the product. And this is the best method for preparing aldehydes and ketones by using 1 comma 3 dithiones. And see here, from nitriles we can prepare aldehydes and ketones. With nitriles, that means when nitriles are reduced in the presence of SnCl2 and HCl in ether solvent generally, see here, first this imine is formed here, then followed by simple hydrolysis in acidic medium, it leads to the formation of aldehydes. That means when nitriles, they reduced in the presence of SnCl2 and HCl, they form first imine, followed by hydrolysis of imine we get aldehydes. And next, see here, ketones also formed when Grignard reagents are reacted with nitriles. See here, Grignard reagent when it is treated with cyanides, see here, this alkyl group attacks it here, and we get this intermediate compound, which followed by hydrolysis we get ketone. See here, hydrolysis takes place and ketone is formed. Here one example given, ethyl magnesium bromide when it is treated with methyl cyanide. See here, this ethyl group is attached to this carbon, and here followed by hydrolysis we get this butanone as the product. And this is from nitriles. And next, from carboxylic acids, see here, from carboxylic acids also we can prepare aldehydes and ketones. See here, when calcium salts of carboxylic acids, that is a mixture of calcium salt of calcium formic acid, that is calcium formate, and calcium salt of an acid, when mixed they form aldehydes. That means by heating they form aldehydes, while when 2 moles of this calcium calcium salt of acid, they mixed, they form ketone. These are all discussed. For example, when calcium salt of acetate it is heated, it leads to the formation of acetone molecule. That is, for example, if calcium salt of benzoic acid, that is calcium benzoate, is heated, it leads to the formation of benzophenone. That is, by the decarboxylation of this salts of carboxylic acids, we get aldehydes and ketones. And next, some special methods are there for the preparation of aromatic aldehydes and ketones. See here, there are some special methods of preparations are there for the preparation of aromatic aldehydes and ketones. See, the first one is oxidation of toluenes. That means by the oxidation of arenes from toluene, we get aromatic aldehydes. That is generally benzaldehyde we get. See here, benzaldehyde can be prepared by the oxidation of toluene using chromium trioxide and acetic anhydride. As soon as the aldehyde is formed, it gets acetylated with above used acetic anhydride to form gem diacetate, which does not get further oxidized. See here, actually acetic anhydride is used to prevent the oxidation of aldehyde formed to acid. That means actually in this reaction aldehyde is formed as the product. To prevent the further oxidation of aldehyde formed, this acetic anhydride is used. That means here when we use this acetic anhydride, actually it forms a gem diacetate. By the hydrolysis of this gem diacetate, we get benzaldehyde. See here, first with this is toluene. When it is treated with, that is oxidized with chromium trioxide, and in the presence of this acetic anhydride, actually this acetic anhydride is used. It is used, that means to prevent the further oxidation of benzaldehyde to benzoic acid. And here, when this toluene it is oxidized in the presence of chromium trioxide with this acetic anhydride, it forms, see here, some diacetate formed. This is benzol diacetate, which upon hydrolysis benzaldehyde is formed. This is the reaction from methylbenzene to or toluene to benzaldehyde. When toluene is oxidized, it forms benzaldehyde. Here the role of acetic anhydride is to prevent the further oxidation of benzaldehyde to benzoic acid. And with the use of this acetic anhydride, this gem diacetate is formed. But this gem diacetate is hydrolyzed to give this benzaldehyde. This is the preparation of aromatic aldehyde from toluene. That is preparation of benzaldehyde from toluene. And next, see here, this is the next reaction, that is Itard reaction. In this, alkyl benzenes, means an alkane benzene, it can be oxidized with chromyl chloride, that is CrO2Cl2, in solvents like carbon disulfide or carbon tetrachloride. Actually, first a brown colored complex is formed, which is decomposed with water to give an aldehyde. This reaction is called as Itard's reaction. See here, this is a named reaction called Itard reaction. In this, the conversion of alkyl benzene to aromatic aldehydes. See here, alkyl benzene is converted into aromatic aldehydes. Here the reagent is chromyl chloride, that is CrO to Cl2. Generally this reaction is carried out in carbon disulfide solvent or carbon tetrachloride solvent. When that means in the presence of this chromyl chloride, that means with oxidation with chromyl chloride in CCl4, actually first a brown colored complex is formed, which that is, it is decomposed with water to give aldehyde. The final product in this Itard reaction is aromatic aldehydes. This Itard reaction is the reaction that is the conversion of alkyl benzene to that is aromatic aldehydes with chromyl chloride reagent. See, with this chromyl, that means oxidation with chromyl chloride, alkyl benzenes, they form a brown colored complex which is further decomposed with water to give aromatic aldehydes. This is about Itard reaction. That is, alkyl benzene is converted into benzaldehyde. And next, see here, the next reaction is Gutterman-Koch reaction. Gutterman-Koch reaction. See here, in this, when benzene is treated with carbon monoxide and hydrogen chloride in the presence of aluminium trichloride, benzaldehyde is formed. This reaction is called as Gutterman-Koch reaction. In this reaction, benzene, it is treated with carbon monoxide and HCl in the presence of aluminium trichloride. It forms the benzaldehyde. This is the Gutterman-Koch reaction. And here for this reaction, that means if you observe the mechanism, see here in this reaction, if you observe the mechanism, this is the mechanism of the reaction. In the first step, see here, there is first in this reaction, benzene is treated with carbon monoxide and HCl. In the first step, the carbon monoxide and hydrogen chloride, they react to form a unstable formyl chloride. That means carbon monoxide plus HCl, they react together for the formation of unstable formyl chloride. Formyl chloride is unstable, and the formed formyl chloride, see here in the second step, this is HCOCl, that is the formyl chloride which is formed by the reaction of carbon monoxide with HCl. In the next step, see here, this formed formyl chloride, it reacts with the aluminium trichloride and it forms the electrophile. See here, this is the electrophile here. Electrophile is formed when the unstable formyl chloride reacts with aluminium trichloride. The electrophile is formed. And here the electrophile in third step, this electrophile attacks on benzene, because as benzene undergoes electrophilic substitution reactions, the electrophile attacks on benzene to the formation of carbocation. That means in the third step, the formed electrophile reacts with benzene and it forms the carbocation. And in the last step, the formed carbocation with the removal of proton, it forms benzaldehyde. This benzaldehyde is formed with the that means removal of proton from the carbocation. It forms benzaldehyde. This is the mechanism of Gattermann-Koch reaction. The Gattermann-Koch reaction is when benzene is reacted with carbon monoxide and HCl in the presence of aluminum chloride, it forms benzaldehyde. This is called Gattermann-Koch reaction. And here in this mechanism, first carbon monoxide, it reacts with HCl, hydrogen chloride. It forms unstable formyl chloride, that is HCOCl, and this unstable formyl chloride reacts with aluminum trichloride and it forms the electrophile. This electrophile, next step, it reacts with benzene and it forms carbocation. Carbocation is formed, and in the last step, the formed carbocation with the removal of proton, it forms benzaldehyde. Of course, the HCl and aluminum trichloride again they are formed. See here, by this way, this benzaldehyde is formed in the reaction, that is Gattermann-Koch reaction. And here, if you observe next reaction, see here hydrolysis of benzol chloride. When we observe, this is benzol chloride. Benzol chloride means, see here, this benzol chloride, it is formed by the chlorination of toluene. With the chlorination of toluene, benzol chloride is formed. By the hydrolysis of benzol chloride, we get benzaldehyde. Okay, that means first toluene with the chlorination, it forms this benzol chloride. Benzol chloride means the two hydrogens in the methyl group of toluene, they are substituted with two chlorine atoms, that is called benzol chloride. And this benzol chloride, upon hydrolysis, that means this hydrolysis, upon hydrolysis, this is converted into CH4, that means benzaldehyde is formed. Hydrolysis of benzol chloride, it gives, that means it forms benzaldehyde. Okay, that is this alkyl benzenes like these toluenes, they oxidize to aromatic aldehydes by passing chlorine through boiling alkyl benzene and treating the product with water. It forms aromatic aldehydes. Means in case of toluene, benzaldehyde is formed. Let us see the next reaction, that is by catalytic oxidation. In this method, ethyl benzene is treated with oxygen around some high temperature, 125 degrees centigrade, and under the pressure, in the presence of manganese acetate, it forms acetophenone. That means this ethyl benzene, it is treated with oxidation in the presence of manganese acetate, and under high temperature and pressure, it forms acetophenone. That is, acetophenone is formed in this reaction. This is by catalytic air oxidation. And the next reaction, the last reaction, is from benzoyl chloride. When this benzoyl chloride is heated with dimethyl cadmium, it gives acetophenone. See here, this is benzoyl chloride. Benzoyl chloride, when it is treated with dimethyl cadmium, it forms acetophenone. That means when benzoyl chloride is heated with dimethyl cadmium, it forms acetophenone. With this, see here, these are the some special methods for the preparation of aromatic aldehydes and ketones we have studied today. That is oxidation of toluenes in the presence of chromium oxide and acetic anhydride. This first, the oxidation of toluene in the presence of chromium oxide and acetic anhydride. It forms aromatic aldehyde, that is benzaldehyde is formed in this reaction. And the second one is Itard reaction. In Itard reaction, generally an alkyl benzene, it is treated with, or it is oxidized in the presence of oxidized with chromyl chloride. Generally the solvent is carbon tetrachloride. First of all, a brown colored complex is formed which further decomposed with water to give aromatic aldehydes. This is called as Itard reaction. The next one is Gutterman-Koch reaction. In Gutterman-Koch reaction, when benzene is treated with carbon monoxide and HCl in the presence of aluminum chloride, it forms benzaldehyde. And in this it is having a mechanism also we have discussed here. In the first step, the carbon monoxide, it reacts with hydrogen chloride and forms the unstable formyl chloride. This unstable formyl chloride again it reacts with aluminum chloride and forms the electrophile. This electrophile attacks on benzene ring and forms carbocation. This carbocation, by the removal of proton, it forms benzaldehyde. This is Gutterman-Koch reaction. And the next one is with the hydrolysis of benzyl chlorides. This benzyl chloride is formed by the chlorination of this toluene, and this benzyl chloride upon hydrolysis it forms benzaldehyde. And some with catalytic air oxidation, that is when ethyl benzene is oxidized in the presence of manganese acetate under high temperature and pressure, it forms acetophenone. That is one reaction. And benzoyl chloride also, when it is treated with dimethyl cadmium, it forms acetophenone. These are some special preparation methods of aldehydes and ketones. And coming to the physical properties, these are briefly discussed in the previous classes. Coming to the physical properties, these most of the simple aliphatic ketones and aldehydes are liquids at room temperature, except methanol and ethanol. These are generally the simple aliphatic aldehydes and ketones are liquids at room temperature. Aliphatic aldehydes, they have an unpleasant and pungent smell, while ketones and aromatic aldehydes, they have pleasant smell and sweet odor. And coming to see here, this is the table which tells about the boiling point and melting point density values of some aldehydes. If you observe, most of the aldehydes except this methanol, those are liquids at room temperature. If you observe the table, except this, most of the that is aliphatic aldehydes except methanol, they are liquids at room temperature. While coming to the densities, if you observe the densities of all aldehydes, that is aliphatic aldehydes, they are less than 1. That means they are less dense than water. While coming to benzaldehyde, that is aromatic aldehyde, it is higher dense than water. That is aliphatic aldehydes, they are having less density than water, while aromatic aldehydes, they are more dense than water. And coming to, if you observe some properties of ketones, that is boiling points, melting points, and density values of ketones. Again, aliphatic ketones, they are liquids again at room temperature, and moreover the density values of aliphatic ketones also, they are less dense than water, and moreover aromatic ketones, they are more dense than water. And coming to boiling points, if you observe the boiling points of uh, aldehydes, that is aldehydes, ketones, and alcohols and carboxylic acids. Carboxylic acids and alcohols generally they have more boiling point, and aldehydes and ketones they have generally comparingly they have less boiling points, because in case of carboxylic acids and alcohols, due to the presence of OH groups, they form hydrogen bonding, while in case of aldehydes and ketones, absence of OH group is there, hence uh, the boiling points of carboxylic acids and alcohols are higher than aldehydes and ketones. And coming to the solubility, small aldehydes and ketones they show appreciable solubility in water due to the formation of intermolecular hydrogen bondings with water. That means the smaller aldehydes and ketones, due to the polar nature of this oxygen, they form a hydrogen bonding with water molecules, hence they show appreciable solubilities, and due to the formation of intermolecular hydrogen bonding. And ethanol and propanol are miscible with water in all proportions if you compare the solubilities. For example, this acetone, that is propanone, is volatile, that is generally it is volatile and miscible with water. Generally this acetone is used for the that is cleaning of apparatus, as it is volatile in nature, it is used for the cleaning of apparatus. And solubility, see here when methanol is there, it is already there is another name, common name is formaldehyde. It is used for the preservation of biological specimens, and of course it is highly toxic. Methanol it dissolves in water also, and it is used for the preservation of biological specimens. See here, coming to chemical properties of aldehydes and ketones. We will discuss about this in the next classes, but just introduction. See here, coming to this carbonyl group structure, the carbon and oxygen, these two are sp2 hybridized, and if you observe, there is one pi bond between, there is two bonds, double bond between carbon and oxygen. As the oxygen is more electronegative, it drags the electron density towards it, hence this C double bond O, the carbonyl group is polar group. That means the carbon gets partial negative charge and the oxygen gets partial negative charge, and carbon gets partial positive charge. Hence these molecules they undergo nucleophilic addition reactions. First of all, they have unsaturation, that is double bond is there, hence they undergo addition reactions. In addition reactions, they undergo nucleophilic addition reactions, because as the carbonyl group, if you observe the carbonyl group, the oxygen is more electronegative than carbon, hence the electron density is somewhat more towards oxygen. Due to this, oxygen gets partial negative charge and carbon gets partial positive charge. And in addition reaction, first, as the carbon is having plus charge, the nucleophile readily attacks at carbon, hence these carbonyl compounds they undergo nucleophilic addition reactions. That is, aldehydes and ketones they undergo nucleophilic addition reactions readily. The mechanism of nucleophilic reactions is like this. See here, first of all, this carbonyl compound having that means partial negative charge at oxygen and partial positive charge at carbon. When nucleophile attacks on this carbon, we get this transition state, and the carbon becomes tetrahedral. See here, when we observe here, the carbon is having sp2 hybridization, that is planar structure, but with the attacking of nucleophile it is converted into tetrahedral. That means carbon becomes tetrahedral. That means this intermediate tetrahedral carbon is formed by the attacking of nucleophile on this carbon. And next, see here in the second step, this intermediate which is formed, it stabilizes itself by combining with the positive part or positive ion like proton. It forms the final product. Okay, so that in this way, this aldehydes and ketones, that is carbonyl compounds, they undergo nucleophilic addition reactions. First nucleophile attacks at carbon, and the carbon becoming tetrahedral, that means an intermediate is formed. This intermediate again, that means the positive parts adds here at oxygen like hydrogen, and so that the final product is formed. So that the final product is formed. If let us say hydrogen is attached here, the final product is formed. By this way, they form, they undergo nucleophilic addition reactions. Now in the next class, we will go through these chemical properties, that is chemical reactions of carbonyl compounds. That is, today we have discussed about the some special methods for the preparation of aromatic aldehydes and ketones. In the next class, we will discuss with chemical properties of this aldehydes and ketones. Thank you.